Apparently, after he left when he coughed up blood, he didn't visit for over a year, and it was later that Isaac heard the news of his death through his father. That very day, there was another mana explosion, forcing him to completely lock his door. Isaac blames himself, saying he should have kept his distance and shouldn't have gotten attached to anyone. He believes that his close ones would have been safe if he had been a bit colder towards them. Isaac decided to adopt this method, and years later, even after refusing to eat, he realizes that he is still alive. The bread that is always dropped for him has grown mold, and when he finally decides to start eating again, he just dusts off the mold and bites down on the bread. At this point, he looks really old, even though he is still a middle-aged man. He dedicated himself to studying magic in a bid to overcome the condition that is affecting him. After reading for so long, he has learned everything from the books, and there is nothing more to know. What is left is inspiration and intuition. Several years later, Isaac finds a clue to overcome his fated problem. At this point, he is already 71 years old and has dedicated himself solely to research. Sometime later, he hears his brother's voice at the door, and he is shocked. Isaac speaks to him coldly, asking him why he is there. Jonas asks if he can come in, but Isaac refuses, telling Jonas to speak from where he is. The two then sit on opposite sides of the door and talk with their backs against it. Isaac asks Jonas how he's been, and Jonas replies that it is a really long story. Jonas asks Isaac if he knows that the day is the anniversary of their father's death. Isaac asks him how their father passed away, and he replies that it is a long story. He asks Isaac if he would like to hear it, and Isaac tells him to go ahead. Jonas gladly starts the story with what happened 30 years ago, which was a battle that broke out between the first and second princes over who was going to succeed the ruler. Hours later, Jonas finally finishes his story, and Isaac admits that his younger brother is really good with storytelling because he even lost track of time. Jonas teases his brother, saying he would have just become a poet if he had known, but it might have been hard since he can only use one hand. Isaac hears this and he apologizes to Jonas for what happened. Jonas tells his brother that the whole family hated him. However, they also missed him so much, and they love him to death. Just then, Jonas says it's going to be a shame that he wasn't able to see his brother's face for the last time. Isaac is confused by this, and Jonas mentions that when the war was happening, a gate actually opened, and monsters from another dimension emerged, committing a lot of atrocities. Isaac gets up in shock when he hears this, and he asks Jonas if he is fine. Jonas starts to stammer, while regretting that he didn't come earlier. Just then, Isaac notices blood coming from under the door, and he quickly opens the door, only to find a sword sticking out of his brother's belly. Jonas crashes to the ground, and Isaac watches his brother's dead body in horror. He couldn't believe that his brother was dying, but was still able to talk that long. He then carries his brother on his shoulder, and as he walks up the basement stairs, tears run down his face because of how light his brother is, showing just how much he has starved. After so many years, Isaac returns to the surface, and what he meets is total destruction. The mansion is in ruins, and a monster's body can be seen lying in the hall. As he steps outside, Isaac notices that it is winter because it is snowing. Since he won't be able to bury his brother in that season, he promises to bury him when it is spring, so he can use the family cemetery. Isaac also concludes that this is when he is going to die. Spring finally comes, and as promised, Isaac buries his brother. While standing over his brother's grave, he raises his hand and is able to produce a fireball. Isaac lets off a short smile because he has finally been able to do it after so long. He has been researching how he can overcome his special constitution for so long, but he has finally done it.